And good evening, Final Fantasy 1 Randomizer fans! This is the Spring Tournament 2019. I am your host, Kyu Katsuki, joined in the booth by Lyra SRL as we have another and the final Week 4 race. We have your Force Thief, we have your White Mage walking the plank this week, we got your Ice Cave, your Marsh Cave, and your Ordeals Castle on the list for incentives along with quest NPCs. And I am excited to get this rolling very soon. Lyra, how are you doing tonight?
The White Witch Lyra is always wonderful, and I hope you all are as well. This is going to be quite an interesting race between these two. We've seen some really powerful runs and plays these tournament from this particular set of runners. So when they finally meet up, you know it's going to be good.
Yep. So we're going to be having this fairly standard party comp. This looks to be the meta comp with the one thief, one fighter, one red mage, one block. And, you know, that is definitely one I do like to see. It definitely puts the black magic always on the table, depending how hard you want to grind up that black mage. But, you know, I also like the red mage comps because you can get that valuable white magic at the same point and get everything through 5 with a class promotion. So, I mean, there's two schools of thought on that one, so.
I prefer the standard setup just for this week. I'm usually a fan of the White Mage, but not many people are, so it's more interesting to see how standard approach.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be one of these matches where the winner of this, since this is, I believe, a 2-1 against a 2-1, the winner of this is guaranteed to at least go into the play-in race. So this one is a critical match for both SolarysDrix and ShoFukomachi. So these are potential bracket characters here. And it's going to be a tight race. I think, you know, what are we going to find early? We're going to find an early ship. We're going to find an early canoe. Like, we've seen some really good ones. Will we even have to go to the Marsh Cave? I always love seeing seeds where it just kind of opens up right off the bat and you just get to see the runners kind of take their knowledge and roll with it.
Speaking of rolling, we're about ready to roll out here, so stand by, folks. This is going to be the final match of the night for this particular week.
Yep, indeed. I mean, personally for you, Lyra, what would you like to find at level 1? Would you like to find anything good, or are you in for...
Personally, I prefer a decent weapon selection over a strong spell selection, but I'm so used to getting spell star seeds. We have Nuke, Ice 3, and Zap for black magic, though. That's quite huge.
Wow, and Heal 3. But that is only Red Wizard learnable since it's in the 4 slot. It's also Night learnable.
Pure potions here.
But with level 1 Nuke, oh man, that is something to find. And if you keep your ninja alive and get some levels on them, you got level 1 Nuke on your ninja as well. So you've got a lot of firepower at level.
At all hours of the seed, actually, which will be really good for Temple of Fiends because there's not a lot of use for spell charges except for blowing stuff up.
Not much in the first chest, just a silver shield. Nice 8 absorb. Sorry, I believe that was 6 absorb for the knight. So that's a nice find early on. It gives you a little bit of early absorb.
It's all about taking the hits and dealing them out twice over. 4,000 in a chest is actually pretty nice, though, and a silver knife. That's...
Again, shield also equipable by the ninja once the thief promotes, but for now it's going to go on that fighter, and we're going to leave that thief out in front.
Creep zombies, nothing giving them problems, though.
We're getting our first look at Garland, and Nukes roll in, and 270, he's down.
Was that even a bot?
I think it was good night, Sweet Prince.
It's like the wolves that we're after are more of a boss than Garland. Some real high numbers on that first opening volley of nukes. Those wolves go down without. You have the ruby and the bottle from the king and princess. That's Gonna be interesting.
Yep, with the bottle, that potentially could mean that we're gonna find an early Gaia, potentially at Elfland or Provoca at this point. So you have one quested NPC item already on the field. You could find your standard practice of either finding a vanilla Provoca potentially, or one in Elfland. You could find Crescent Lake. So you got a lot of options on the field to just get an early item right off the bat with 3 on total.
Super expensive houses. That's gonna be a rough going wandering out. And looks like Solaris is possibly gonna head up towards Provoca, maybe just to do the.
Yeah, I think the good news is I don't think we saw anything nasty, particularly from the imps, and I don't think the wolves did anything other than attack either.
Even though you have like pure potions, heal potions being only 17 gold apiece, you can definitely stock up. I don't think there's going to be particularly threatening early game. Question in chat, are we going to be doing week 5 pairings after this? And the answer from Crystal is yes.
I believe that is going to be immediately following this seed, once both of our runners have kind of finished and wrapped. But you'll get all of your information about week 5 after this match. But right now we have SolarysDrix being the first one to check Provoca and find out Lufa Lufe.
Definitely a good thing that Solaris actually saved halfway up instead of all the way over, save some time on the. Inns are pretty cheap. That's pretty beneficial because this can be a popular point to save up and just rest in between dungeons.
As we have Sho working his way toward, it looks like, Provoca as well. And SolarysDrix is the first one to check the Dwarf Cave to find a Silver Axe and about 9k. So some decent money.
9,300 is definitely a solid check, and it's right there next to the door, so you're not losing out on much. 2,200 heal potion and another about 3k or so out of them.
I mean, so far in chests, it's been fairly lucrative. I think we've gotten almost, 20k so far from just the couple chests that we've checked. I mean, that could open up potentially, if a shop item's cheap as well.
Some of the shop items we've been seeing over the past few days haven't been exactly wallet friendly, so Solaris is actually going to go ahead and head over to Elfland instead of going into Marsh Cave. I think this is probably the better.
I personally think that's going to pay off with Elfland being in Elfland today and getting Fire 3 and Warp at level 3 for Black Magic. Those are.
I'm actually a fan of the Saber being able to be ninja castable too. That's really strong if you want to go ahead and self-buff. Invis 2 and look like
Life
wall,
was
right?
not learnable. We do have Invis 2, but Life was blocked.
Wall is also a strong spell, but it doesn't look like there are runners being able to use that.
But we did get Fade and we did get Quad X at level 4, so that is a nice find, getting a learnable Fade at level 4 and Quad X, which is the best instant death spell in the game, because it works all the time when they're below 300 health.
Fade at level 4 is actually not bad. That's the holy magic. It's the strongest white magic in the game for offense, and to be honest, having it at 4 is better than having it at.
Crystal asking, who needs level 4 Fade when we already have level 1 Nuke? You know what? I think Crystal, in my opinion, it's like, I love some fresh cracked black pepper on my, pretty much any dish. Why can't I have a little salt? Makes things better.
Variety is the spice of life, and Solaris is going to go ahead and heal up and probably make the Marsh dive right here since there's no other. Sho had to walk all the way back from Provoca. That's not good feels this early on. Solaris making it to Marsh Cave. Here we go, fans. This is going to be the thing that you're waiting for. Also manipulating the spell, the encounter table just a little. Duels have transfer. Beam me up, Scott.
Definitely an interesting name, and I do love translation teams. The localization by some of these old school games is always interesting to see.
Scorpions with Razzle Dazzle. Here we are. Rockets like a hurricane. Not much in that first chest. Second chest also a boss with only 200.
I mean, just a wooden cane and just a little bit of gold. This top two, one of them is to the basement, so I mean, it's important to know which one is which. I believe it is the one that is closest. Oh, gargoyles.
Gargoyles not only have the Stinger Splash, but they also show you their crack, and we all know how to say.
Oh, why did I have to talk about cracked black pepper? There we go.
Opal Bracelet's a strong find, but that was a hefty price to pay for it. Solaris is probably going to just try it again, I think, maybe. Cabins are pretty expensive too, but Sho's actually going to go ahead and pick up some of them just for safety's sake.
Yep. With that opal bracelet being in the linked chest, Solaris decided to reset out and just grab it on his way down. Wise move. One would say it's a bet.
The old not novice move. Oh, there it is. That's actually super useful for. Sho makes it to Elflin, goes for his spell shopping. Probably saw the level 3 magic and wants to go. Nope. Going straight for Marsh, not even stopping for a little bit of money grab.
Question is, how many chests does SolarysDrix decide to check? It looks like he's going to go for the full Z of Marsh at this point.
I think I can get behind this play. I would check stuff earlier than later, though, just in case you run across some actual decent equipment so you can equip it before the... It's the old brick house inside of the box. Bone's having frost. Uh-oh, indeed.
Well, you know, looks like we got a very elemental marsh cave. You know, first you're gonna have some cracked up earth, and then you're gonna get the swamp of the marshlands. It's just, it's coming out to get you with 15 unique enemies. There's two things that I read in the marsh cave today.
Our runners are pretty much even back up. That early potential from Sho catching back up super quick.
Now, to make
going back for the opal bracelet.
To make a note here, that means those gargoyles, which do also appear in the trap tiles on the Topher. So if we get an early key, you could see a return of cracked gargoyles causing issue.
Kind of a scary thought there, now that we think about it. Sho gonna find the opal bracelet. Probably knows about the whole link chest thing. Yep, there we go. No warp charges yet, gonna have to walk it.
Decides to walk it out instead of just resetting out, so.
Now there is a house on the bottom floor, but the fact that it's on the bottom floor and not the top. Well,
that's another big find.
And grab another.
Solaris finds a Purr Ring, gives you 8 absorb and resists that death element, so that's going to be another great absorb for his knight. His knight is up to now 23 physical.
Solaris run across those bones again. There's no bones about this seed.
Well, you know, I guess Solaris really is enjoying his ice cream today because he keeps getting the drumsticks.
I think I prefer cookies and cream or maybe some Reese's peanut butter cup over anything else. So. Thankfully not much from the spiders there. You would think that this was a 2,000-year time loop, perhaps.
Marsh Cave is nasty. That's pretty much the one thing that I would tell to every new runner. The old joke was, the person who introduced me to the community, Drumbordus and Czar. Drumbordus had a quote, "Friends don't let friends die from Marsh Cave. We're forced to go in there." I've got a different quote. Why do we have to go to Marsh?
Zardia in chat, who rolled this? One can only wonder what kind of RNG. Haven't even seen what's in the wizard chest yet. Everyone's still diving the rest of the...
Yeah, they're getting hit right in the shins by those bones, so... Solaris has enough. Nukes him down.
Unrunnable werewolves there. That's kind of a little bit scary, but nuke goes off in plenty enough order, so...
Yep, as we're getting our first look at the wizards, wizards are runnable today.
Big hooray from the dwarf cave being heard all the way down.
But they do have stun touch.
That's pretty frightening, honestly.
So we get our first look into the chest of the wizards, and we get the crystal ball.
I hope you like walking because this seems making you actually get your exercise and your money's worth.
Uh-oh. Stun touch wizards wipe SolarysDrix. Yep, and those wizards definitely have 3 hits, as Dangwu is noting. That's gonna get through, and you're gonna get stunned a lot of the times with these low magic defenses. Just any roll is gonna beat you.
Showing off the level 3 charge being used for warp to just get off of that bottom floor and potentially get back up. Oh, they have glare too. The stone is...
Oh, and crawls have damage poison.
This is probably one of the worst Marsh cases we've seen all.
I'm gonna say this is about average.
Average if you're into torture, maybe, as our runners are still going back there. So, lovely weather actually having inside of the Marsh Cave. Snow, earthquakes. About average.
About average, yeah.
Hold crawls. That's pretty gross too, now that we're thinking about it.
Joe's running into his frozen food section today and just is not letting go.
It's kind of like when you walk into the walk-in cooler in a grocery store and you see a frozen hand trying to grab you all of a sudden. That's pretty... Looks like the shadows had stun touch too. Good gravy, this...
Another 5-pack of bones for Solaris, and on Joe's side, here comes more frost.
For those that are wondering in the chat, no, I am not keeping a death counter for this. This is not Temple of Fiends Revisited in Green.
I would keep a wipe counter at this point, but I'm thinking, what are we at this point? I think we're at 10 at this point.
Probably. It's time to cue the Benny Hill music.
All I know is if the wipe counter ever increases over the amount of unique enemies, it's a good Marsh.
Not just a good Marsh, it's a great Marsh. Solaris actually exits out. Oh, Solaris is late.
Solaris gets through, gets the right section of the RNG table, and makes it past that nasty, nasty Marsh, and he's on his way on the world.
I think that's worthy of a hooray, honestly.
I'm sure that would be one of my first things if I really was having a fun season.
It's always better to keep a positive outlook instead of getting bullied by things with Kraken.
Tell you right now, it's my favorite MC, and the reason for it is when I just am having a rough seat, I just go there and my life is just a little better. Because at the end of the day, it's a game and you're supposed to have fun with it.
Well, sometimes fun can be a little bit torturous too, depending on how your luck goes. Gonna get our first look at the Matoya tournament. There's some progression with our first ship.
Well, we knew that it was gonna be something at that point. Is probably either going to be that ship or that canoe. It was noted at that point. There was nowhere else for them to go. That opens up a lot of the world at this point. They could go to check out the rest of the locations for the towns, your Melmond, your Onrak, and your Crescent Lake locations. They could go check Earth 1. They've got the Ruby, so they can go straight over to Sarda. They could, if they really wanted to, grind some levels in the in the desert up near Mirage, but I don't think they're going to do that even with level 1 new.
Best thing you're going to find in that desert is a friend, and the worst things you're going to find are those red ankylos. Those things have really high defense. Sho makes it out of Marsh Cave, though. A few minutes behind, but as we can see from these races and these caliber of runners, it's not going to be a huge thing.
So, Lyra, what do you want to see from Sarda today?
Maybe the Ox.
I can get behind that. Go with the early sea dive potentially. I like it.
Our poor neglected mermaids have been relatively unbothered this tournament, so you want to give them some love.
Yep, you gotta go visit Anko-chan and the rest of the mermaids down there. Theta-chan too.
Sho making it back to Canaria, goes ahead and stocks on some items. Getting ready to go turn in that.
Now that's an interesting find. You get the legendary medal from the fairy. So we released her from the bottle, we dropped the bottle in. Did you want a gold one or a silver one? We said neither of them, and she gave us the adamant instead.
Got some real quality this seed right here. Solaris is actually going to go feed the Titan. Hooray!
So let's see if we get a required Titan today. It's always amusing to see something like the floater or something like that behind the Titan, because at that point you have a required Titan seed.
Definitely nothing wrong with feeding the hungry.
Personally, I kind of want to see a ribbon out of Sarda. I want to feel a little pretty, and especially with how much nastiness we've already seen for AoEs with like the bones and whatnot, getting an early ribbon would make me feel a lot safer at this point.
I'd walk it back out for sure and then check Titan's Trove on the way out. But we're gonna find the canoe from them. Oh my. Required Ruby.
Yep. Pretty sure at this point, it could not be required because we still have not seen the Crescent Lake location or the Provoca location, and we have 2 of the 4 towns potentially in.
That's true, but it's a fairly safe assumption, I would think. Sho making it back to Matoya for turning in the ship there and off Sho.
Dangmu noting all the options that we could have. I mean, we got Waterfall on the play at this point. You can go up to Onrak, you can go to Ice Cave, you can go to Volcano, you can check a lot of things on the menu. Heck,
Solaris uppercutting before the Tigers go.
What I'd probably do is immediately go back after checking these 4 chests. Maybe you do check Earth on your way here. It's the closest you're gonna be. But I'd say go turn on that adamant. See if you can get flying right out the.
Considering there's a dock fairly near Dwarf Cave, that's a really strong play, I would feel early.
Not only that, you got the canoe now, so you can take the shortcut near the bridge over the canal over there.
Neither runner checking the level 7 or 8 magic shop inside of Gaia, so we're definitely clueless on what some of those unattainable spells would be and to see if there are potentially some wonderful not progressional.
Ooh, indeed. E-Tap remind me of the one I actually did forget about with the Ordeals dungeon. I did not mention that. I meant that is another thing. So we actually have all of the rest of our incentive locations on the menu.
Ladies and gentlemen, children around the world, we have a cabin site.
We have a sort of special.
Yes, we do. This is a cabin seat, folks.
Okay, I just went up to 11 right now. That means we've got 3 loose items. Oh, let's go!
Question in the chat. No, we have not seen any loose items. That is correct. It was from the adamant. Honestly, I think about 6-7k was actually worth walking out for show. I would never set out of that. That's pretty strong money this early.
You know what? Some people say that they don't like running these RNG seeds, but I'll tell you right now, watching it for the chat, it is always a treat as we get the very rare Stardust specials.
This is definitely a quality run we have ourselves here, everybody. Buckle up, we're gonna be here for a while. Crescent Lake is
Moment? Well, you know, we don't really have anything we can do here right now. I mean, you can pick up that first slot of level 5 potentially, but, you know, until we get that slab, we do know where Lufane is. It's in the original Provoca, so. Once again, we do have Zozo Melmondon. That means that every desert tile slot inside a Melmond is an encounter. You can run into packs of undead there. You can run into some rare pirates, or even the rarest of all, a single vampire.
Solaris making the play up to what looks like Ice Cave from Crescent Lake. In these flags, I would probably have gone to Waterfall first. This is pretty...
Looks like he's gonna go try and dig out the armory of Volcano first.
That's probably the better idea instead of diving ice straight up. I mean, you do have nuke, but there's no other things, and if you run out of spell slots, it's really...
Well, we do have some houses available to us. We can definitely get some early levels by just taking fights on that second floor, warp out, and then immediately come back in with higher levels and go for the full clear of Volcano. Checking a high density location like this one, this is your best chest density option on the field right now, with 33 total chests. You don't have access to the sea, you don't have access to sky, and Volcano is number 2 in the list for chest density, so this is a high priority check in my opinion when you know that there is potentially 3 loose items out there, 3 required potentially too.
Fiends with Lightning 1 and Fire 3, the Volcano strikes.
Well, they're not EXPs today, unfortunately.
I believe in the Harry Potter universe they were called blast-ended scroots because they just had the potential to blow up in your face, and that was definitely what's happening to Solaris here, as both 2 fighters.
So, when Lord of the Synth said spicy, I didn't think he wanted Fire of Alarm there, with both Fire 3 and Cremate from him.
This seed is burning hot in the fires of our... Here we go with the first armory.
So we have Sho taking out a 9-pack of pirates, so I believe we have found our location for Provoka. Oh, nope, just kidding, Zozo moment. I thought those were a little bit more rare, but we got Life 2 in level slot 1 of level 5.
Ruse, Transfer, Lock 2, Bane, all level 5. Those are some pretty interesting spells. A little bit short on the spell. To answer the question in the chat, yes, this is a ZRNG spell.
I mean, the good news is we do have Life 2. It is Red Mage and Red Wizard learnable, so that gives a lot more safety for the seed.
There's a ribbon find from Solar. Solar's trying to strike back with that poor red mage, but down goes.
So, not only do they have Cremate, Lightning 1, they have Fire 3, and also Frost as well. Because, you know, I'm sure that Solarys wanted to see Frost again at this point.
Honestly, seeing it twice now with the potential of it being on the Medusa script, which would show up 3 times or more, I think I would go with Frost over something much more.
Well, I definitely agree. It's just still a pain in the early game. All these all these elemental spells are just, you know, taxing at this. ShoFukomachi goes up to the on-rack location to find Provoka.
Provoka is definitely a nice find. Some level 2 magic here. Temper, Cake, Lightning 2, all of those really strong.
Finding a Lightning 2, Clear, and Temper, amazing finds. Quick is a little bit more niche in my opinion.
Harm 3
it's
and
still really
exit
good.
there in level 2. And Perilous with Vanilla Stone Touch.
Well,
Pirate Captain has TNT. That's dynamite.
He gave you the powder for his cannons, so now we've got a bit of a powder cake situation on our hands. We'll have to go back and see what Narek has to offer eventually.
6,800 silver bracelets. That's not exactly a cheap find.
As Sho is making the play to go toward the waterfall.
I like this particular play, honestly. Have some decent spells to unload on some good XP items for the nightmares. And yeah, it's a good idea to run away from the parrot.
I mean, with Nuke at level 1, Lightning 2 at level 2, and I believe we had Fire 3 at level 3, you've got a decent chunk of stuff to work with here for just clear. But yep, those glancing Perilous just decided to freeze one of Sho's light warriors right off the bat.
We're having ourselves an old-fashioned ice cave dive here. I like where this is going from. Ah, Perilous with Glance. There we go. Those things are real.
Rapidly approaching toward the waterfall robot. SolarysDrix is in the 2nd floor of ice, making his way down. I'm wholeheartedly expecting a warp check with the 3 chests.
Easy way out of waterfall. It's definitely the ideal setup here.
I mean, if it was me, I'd be fortunate at this point that they did not want to target, like, one of my mages, potentially.
Nuke going off, decimating that poor guarded. Bringing a nice sauna for the hot steam bath in the microwave. Route on the robot, not something you want to see, but it is progression. As we find the floater in Ice Cave, let's go.
Indeed, now he just has to get it out. It's a big act. Again, we do know that Life 2 is learnable at slot 5. However, does not have it quite yet, so down to 2 Light Warriors to get the rest of this Ice Cave done.
Solaris going for the deep dive. I like where this is going. The Frost Dragons are unrunnable though. High HP though, surviving 2 new.
At this point, I'd definitely consider potentially moving some of my items off my fighter onto my other Light Warrior. If your fighter's at the pro ring, put it on your 2 last casters. Make sure everyone's as well armored as it can get.
Heal Helm there, that's actually a pretty nice find, and that sells for a good amount.
Sho is taking fights. He's using up the rest of his nuke charges on that trap tile, trying to get as many levels as possible, and gets rewarded with a 5 with mummy.
Whole ton of XP there, 2,000 this early, that's really... There's those red bones again.
Well, luckily it's just the red bone. It's not the regular bones, which are the ones that are packing those frost for you.
Cure Potion Cloth striking out in the big treasure room.
Gets away and gets an Ice Sword and a Flame Sword out of the 6-pack at the bottom.
It's actually not a terrible find right now, considering the Red Mage can always use a weapon, since the Red Mage is low on spell.
20 million base damage, it is a fantastic equip. It is the 3rd best item that you can equip, in my opinion, on Fighter Red Mage pre-promotion. Behind, of course, the Masamune and the Sun Sword.
All 3 of those are really strong weapons. No matter what weapon you have, as long as it beats Chaos, it's definitely a weapon worth building. Three more chests here for Slayer.
Black Shirt. That is a great find, giving you even more clears. And one of the best armors for your Black Mage as well, so... Once he
Protects against a
promotes to a
couple of
wizard.
elements as well.
Oasis
So
does
the
not have her
wings
key
have
item.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oasis does not have her key item, so it is floater locked at this point for the item, shop item.
Chat pointing out we had some wings deciding to spin us right round, baby, right round with a train.
I do like Sho's check here. Going immediately over to Ordeals, gonna get that key item location as well at the same time while he's up in the northern top.
Some would debate, even though it's a longer check because you have to ride around with the ship on it, you can actually just go ahead and pop straight through the forest section and the desert section, just go straight into ordeals. It's not a bad...
Fortunately, those Kuzokus had fire too, and we're another spicy thing on the menu tonight.
Pirates had too much garlic, actually. "37 minutes in. Just want to give a special shout out to Speed Game for hosting us all tonight. You're watching the final match of week 4 for our adventures. Only one more week of matches in the Swiss rounds, and then we're on to the playoffs after a little bit of...
But yep, we've got one full action-packed week next week, and then we have the playoff races for determining who's going into brackets. Lots of neat stuff coming up still in the tournament. As we find out that Gaia is the location of Crescent Lake.
They cop up the Oxyale. Guess they were thirsty.
Well, that's a convenient find because we know our last town by process of elimination is, I believe, Onrak, so...
They would put it in the original Lefane location, meaning you probably only need to go over there once. It's actually super, super good.
Wise move by SolarysDrix, checking out the item shop just in case that you do not have heal potions in Onrak, so... Definitely don't want to have to make that walk twice because you got no heal potions for the potential sea dive.
Show getting another light rave party.
So Lyra, we've got one last incentivized location left. It may be a herb at the, or it may be one of our last key items that we could find. What do you think we want to find at this point inside of Ordeal?
I think the real question is, what do we want to find, or what does our wonderful viewer base want us to find? I think they probably want something trolly like the tail.
See, I was gonna go with the tail, but I decided against it. I actually want to see a quest turn in for the herb to the ribbon. So that way we truly have 3 loose items that you may find to complete the scene.
How about a slab to go turn into Lefane for the ribbon? That'd be pretty dirty.
I like the way you think.
Yes, indeed. Solaris taking advantage of that really big play on the level 2.
Mummies are also a little spicy. But they're just using a little bit of basically a little bit of smoked paprika with a little bit of cayenne pepper because they've only got fire 1.
So if you're sitting at 2 or 3 wins and you're watching both of these runners tonight, who do you think is the stronger of the two? And who would you not want to play in the wonderful last chance playoff race, which is only one entrant advancing?
Personally, you know, we've got another week, so one of these runners is going up to 3-1 at the end of this race. The other one's 2-2. I think I'd be more sweating bullets on who would I get matched up next week first. But I think either of these runners are quality. They've already gotten a 2-1 bracket at this point. And I think any of them, because that play-in race, especially the 2-win one, is going to be who makes a potential gamble, does it pay off? Who plays vanilla and has better execution? Those are going to be the bigger deciders, in my opinion, for that the 2-win play.
This just in for our weather forecast tonight. Trolls brought the nuke. They were definitely burning with desire. those red gargoyles have squint too, and they're unrunnable. What a really awful turn of events for Sho has to reset out of.
So we had gargoyles with crack and red gargoyles with man, it's just a statuesque night tonight on the seat.
Hashtag blame SRNG for our runners here. We get to see the Apocalypse ponies for the first time, but down they go. 1300 XP before the XP boost at 12 key items is pretty huge for our runner. Sho making quick work of the maze, going back up to the last floor, gonna finally find out what's in these.
Still have to make it past potentially another one of those gargoyle fights. But we're getting our first look at some of these chests here. Just a giant sword in that first three and some money in that first one.
Collectively, those three chests that had the money in them were pretty decent. It was about 7. Medusa's getting blast back to mythological. What's not a myth, however, is this is actually a really hype.
So what do we got in these 4 chests? Some more gold, an opal bracelet, a gauntlet, an opal shield, and a house. No loose items yet. And we get the crown. So fetch quest ahoy. Here we go.
Our wonderful tracker in chat pointing out that we had an out of bounds bat signing. Solaris probably not happy to see that rod, but hey, that's progression in some way.
Well, we do have access potentially to 3 dungeons at this point. You've got full access to Earth, you've got full access to Volcano, and with that Oxyale and the floater, you have full access to the sea. Which one do you take at this point is a question in my opinion.
Personal thing, I think I would definitely go with chest density and go with Sea Shrine, and just, since you already have exit, just bounce between Marsh.
So, there are 33 chests of Volcano, there are 31 non-key lock chests in Sea, and 1 key lock chest. That would be interesting though, if we had one of our loose items end up in that.
Question in chat there. Onrak is in the actual Lefane location, so it's probably only going to be 1 trip over there since level 7 magic, and only really Black Mage has access to that, even though Red Mage just has a level.
How many people in the play-in race future site? That's still to be determined right now. It really depends on how many slots are actually available for the people in the 2-win bracket to move into the 3-win play-in race, and how many slots that the winners from the 3-win playoff race will.
Sho finding the loot on Astos. It's required, but probably not something you want to see right this. Vendor item is the slab though for 20k, and that's in Onrak, so you definitely need to grab it while you're here to avoid losing time. Eric, the demolitions expert, handing over the tail.
Not quite what he wanted to find at this point, but you know, once he gets his floater out of ice, he can do a party class change. Getting promoted up is actually pretty massive at this point, because with level 1 nuke, that is a huge find for his thief, and also with that level, I believe, 2 temper.
Solaris going in the sea, battling the sharks for some XP. I think I can definitely get behind this. Take every fight you can right now, but they're not alongside me. delicious sea snacks.
To answer Crab Cakes in chat, is the bracket going to be single or double elimination? Actually, it's going to be a best of 3 format. Then I believe it is single elimination from the best of 3s, so.
That would actually, well, it would work really well because it would line up, in fact, with our upcoming summer tournament for team-based coach. Looking forward to seeing you all in the chat here for that particular adventure, or if you're feeling really bold, you should definitely start playing the Randomizer with us and find yourselves a partner. It's great fun and it's good for all.
So we have SolarysDrix making the Kraken side dive with C. I like this play. I always like making the play if you feel confident that you can take out. Oh no.
I don't know about feeling confident at this point.
We have Arsa Hags with Thunder.
Question in chat, any loose key items found? Nope, not yet. We're needing 3 though, so.
May have found a potential loose key ribbon at this point, but we do have the starter special already determined from the adamant, getting the cabin from the blacksmith. This is gonna be an interesting one.
Some unrunnable frost giants and frost wolves over on show side. And the frost giants have quad F. Show gonna be really happy and probably a little bit salty about finding the vanilla flip. Solaris changed it up and headed straight on through the Kraken side again.
Checking the 2 free on this floor, getting a heal potion and about 21 gold.
Big strikeout on that, and ooh, that's a lot of red Sahajin, so hopefully turn order is in our favor. That's not turn order.
I did not catch Solaris levels going in here, but he could potentially have a life 2 cast at this point.
Oh, 14 on that red mage there. Hasn't been to ordeals for the tail yet. Or the crown, rather. Big load of nothing here on Sharknado.
I mean, at this point, ribbons would be really great with all this thunder and other nastiness flying around. Endgame sword would be really great at this point.
Sea snacks having Cure 3 on them, that's certainly kind of a... Nothing a good blasted nuke hasn't taken care of.
SolarysDrix runs into, once again, the scary Thunder Sahags. They're going after him. And but the nuke comes. He is down to 1 light warrior at this point.
Now, if you're Solaris and you wipe a second time, would you actually go to Mermaid side at that point and just actually pick up some potentially better armor than what you've...
Hmm. Like, you've got the nuke charges to complete this. It's one of those where, how dedicated do I feel? Because, like, I agree with you. It's like, you could just check that there. You're still gonna run into some on that and you could also run into some scary potential ghosts as well. Personally for me, I may just take a couple levels on floor 1 before I go back and try and make a full dive of anything.
That's a pretty solid play, especially with only one light warrior at those EXP gains we print. We have ourselves a white shirt find here for Solaris, though, in Kraken. Dragon armor, too. Fade cast goes off, down goes the shark.
Question is, how confident do you feel? Do you warp out at this point? Yep, you just exit out and just try and reset it up. So he gets the full clear of the Kraken side at this point.
Finding the white shirt and dragon armor, though, that's really big finds, and Solaris is definitely happy to be full clearing.
Those are huge finds to safety, and he has the TNT, which is where his tail is at that point, so that is going to be a massive pickup once he gets that turned in for the TNT.
Show at 54 minutes, finally getting access to the airship. We have ourselves a race.
Now the thing is, we know something that Show doesn't, and that Solaris has not actually gone to the Cardi area yet. And with the tail, I would probably be making that play very soon if I was Show.
Especially since you want to do it preferably before level 15, so you can start getting some easy spell charges on your castable part.
Yeah, with Invis 2 for the Knight and Nuke and Temper for the Ninja. I mean, those are some pretty beefy spell lists to get in your first couple.
I think it would actually turn the Ninja into something that was actually worthwhile and not just sitting there as a statue for the entire time.
Questions, chat. Where was the first ribbon? The ribbon that Solaris found? Volcano Armory. And I believe Armory proper, if I remember correctly.
Yes, it was. It wasn't in the long hallway chest, so. It was the gray worm guarded tile right there in the. At 56 minutes, we're getting closer and closer to our first fiend fight. This is actually super excited. Let's go ahead and see what our adventures have awaited.
Well, the largest chest density out of the Cardia Islands, the forest tile, is a bust. So we have Solaris getting it on his way to the Kraken.
20k is actually a pretty solid pickup, and so is 3.5, but yeah, you're definitely right about the rest of that being complete. And a 36k iron armor, big strikeouts for show, but the money is definitely helpful.
Full party rearrangement, and he's about to pull the Kraken. Decides to go with a little bit more defense here, so he's going with a white shirt, and the fighter goes. Kraken whacked the fighter, first turn. He's gonna have to do a change in strategy. Probably have to go full on nuking at this point.
In the immortal words of, I believe it was Ultros, youch, seafood soup, as the black mage goes down, but fires off ink the next turn and actually prevents and gives us a free turn for evasion.
Nuke for 142. So we're up to about 300. 5 hits. No, the Red Wizard is down to 14 health left. Any sort of clear will kill him. Another nuke, 139. as he wipes Kraken 1.
Not bad rolls on Nuke, but not great ones. And yeah, that Kraken definitely rolled some HP, so Solaris is going to have to go ahead and make the
Well, we didn't even get to the vanilla value for Kraken on that one, and that makes me worried. Because that is one where Kraken, if you're going to go for that, you're going to need some turn order. You're going to probably want at least 2 invis if you're going to go with that. Having both the... Wait, the Red Wizard does not have invis 2 quite yet. That's right, because it is locked by... Hey, there's a ribbon for Show.
The second ribbon being found in the Cardia Islands along with another 11k. It's a lot of value.
I definitely think this is you might want to just try and go to burn him instead of trying to survive the first couple turns. You have nukes, you have fades. I'd say go full bore into him and try and just kill him before he kills you, because he is whacking today, and we know that Ink is his first skill, and that is a free turn.
Thankfully for that. Joe doing some shopping trips now that class promotion is. Lamp and heal 3 all the way.
That's going to become an issue later on. With that nuke where it is, along with heal 3, it's going to be a question of how much utility, how much damage you get out of these spells.
Show heading back to Gaia. This is a pretty interesting. Pro ranks for 12k there. That's actually pretty huge value considering the Cardia Islands completely loaded them up.
Solaris not taking any sort of fights as he's pulling Kraken once again. Gets fully equipped up, even equips a silver gauntlet at that point to try and get as much absorbed as possible to try and keep his knight alive. He's gonna pull again. Let's see if he has a change in strategy, or he's going to sacrifice the black mage to the Kraken.
Interesting strategies here. Oh, Kraken goes for the fighter anyway.
Three hits for 66 damage. I think nukes are your option here. You're gonna have to go in hard.
3 hits, 87. Yeah, that's a complete potato. 184 on the nuke there. Second nuke goes off. 192. Down goes Kraken.
Kraken was actually almost dead at that point from the first one. He just had a couple bad nuke rolls. If he went a little bit earlier with the change in direction, he might have gotten the clear the first time. That's got to be frustrating.
Looks like the Kraken rolled about anywhere between 500 and 700 HP. Yeah, that was definitely a little bit frustrating, but Solaris gets through it, no problem after. We get to see our wonderful mermaid waifus here, as Solaris is not interested in leaving just...
I like it. It's in the Lufane location. You don't want to come back here. You want to check it off the list while you're here. As Gersharks have Stun Touch. Second thing was Stun Touch today. Wizards were the first one to have it.
They generally only show up in like groups of 1 or 2 though, so by themselves they're not so dangerous with a full party, but if you only have 3 party members it can be a little... Bane sword for Solaris.
SolarysDrix has found the game clincher.
This has been a sword that has actually saved runs for our runners this tournament. There's the power bug!
Oh my god. It's so bad, it's good.
This mermaid play was completely worth. Zeus Gauntlet's actually pretty nice too, but is Solaris gonna keep it? Look. There's the Excalibur for Sho, though. Sho's actually following right up behind Solaris. That was a chest that Solaris missed on the first floor.
SolarysDrix finding the Bane Sword and the Power Gauntlet, the two notable things from Mermaids, is going to check out the rest of the floor except for chest number 5, the TF. That is key locked. Cannot check it currently.
I think with the value of this particular mermaid dive, one chest may or may not matter, even though we still have 3 loose key items. Can you imagine if that one chest actually had something in it, though, after these runners have to leave and go all the way back into the...
Question in chat. Jomaine, where was the tail? The canal worker, Narek, the one we turned into TNT to, was the one who gave us... So he gave us a fuse from his TNT so that we could class promote.
And no matter which team you're on, as long as you're on team saving the world from chaos, it doesn't matter what weapon.
And the endgame sword is good in my book, so... Hey, as we find the X-Cal, one of my favorite swords.
Solaris actually finding that chest a little bit after Sho did, but definitely worth the check. So that's a whole lot of endgame weapon.
45 base damage, only 10 crit, but against all but 30 unique enemies in the game, it has plus 10 damage and plus 40 hit rate. And that 40 hit rate translates to another swing for your knight. So that is a huge find.
Both runners are going to be super excited about that. Sho's definitely excited about that Excalibur, though, being found before going to Kraken side. I think that may have been a really strong pick.
As Sho gets the bad news of the Thunder Arsahag.
Now, if you conduct electricity underwater, does it actually strike you as well?
I think we'll call it bioluminescence.
So they're Pokemon.
I think they have a little bit of electriel in their blood. As we find a stake on Solaris' side.
Run, Solaris, run! Oh, there we go.
We eat those.
Friend didn't want to be bothered as Solaris successfully gets away with having only 2 light warriors. Now Solaris, instead of going around the world looking for other stuff, goes to ordeals. That's interesting.
I mean, it makes sense. He's got that still on his list to complete. And he's in the area anyways, so it's trying to be efficient with your movement. I like the...
I love the direction of the state is taking our runners in so far as we hit the 1 hour 7 mark. It's been an honor and a pleasure, as always, with you all tonight, welcoming you all to the final race of week 4 for our speed gaming family right here. My name is Lyra, with me is Kyokitsuki, and what a race we have tonight, everyone. We hope you're enjoying it.
Well, that being said, we did just kind of pass the hour mark. You want to give us a quick recap of everything that happened so far in the seed, Lyra?
Sure, my pleasure. So we started off with the king and the princess giving us the ruby and bottom respectively. The pirate captain Vicky had the TNT, so arming the cannons there. The sages gave us the oxyale, Astos gave us the loot, Matoya had the ship, which was gotten from the crystal inside Marsh Cave. Sarda had the canoe, the robot had the rod, the fairy had the adamant, Merrick had the tail, the blacksmith had a cabin, so we're still looking for our 3 loose items. The vendor was an on-rack and it was the slab. The Marsh Cave was again the crystal. The Ice Cave was vanilla inside floater, and Ordeals that Solaris is coming up on now is giving us the crown. We found 2 ribbons so far, the second floor Volcano Armory, the Zardia Islands being the second one. The Excalibur was in the first floor of Sea Shrine, and the white shirt and dragon armor were inside the Sharknado floor on Kraken's side. I hope that was helpful. Speaking of helpful, Solaris is only down to 1 light warrior, but it's the red mage who is completely blasting through the red gargoyles. Takes them all down, gets that delicious solo XP of 46. One ribbon paying off big time for Solaris. Solaris picks up the crown. Definitely happy to be getting out of here. Doesn't even bother checking the dragon. Show re-entering on-rack. Looks like we're gonna get the rest of the Kraken dive right here, and Show pick up the first. Solaris only opting to revive the fighter. Could we potentially be seeing 2 party strats right here? It's an advanced trick that takes a lot of experience for our runners in order to be able to pull off successfully, but if it works, oh my goodness.
Well, we do know that Life 2 is learnable by the Red Mage and the Red Wizard, so if you can just get enough MDef at this point, I think that's the most important.
Here's the slab turn for Solaris. And we're going to see what the wonderful Toga party gives us. There's the cube.
Well, at least what we know that they're doing is the problem was we didn't come up with our player's handbook to play some D&D with the Lufanians. They're already role-playing, and we just didn't...
Slayer's going to turn the crown here as well as shows going down through the rest of the Kraken floor. There's those red Sahajin again.
At this point, it's the search for the loot, and the key, and the chime.
There's the tail for Slayer.
And we know that one of those items are going to be blocked by the herb, so...
There's Solaris, the second ribbon. Sho busy clearing up the Sharknado floor here. Runs into the red Sahajin again, down to just 2 light warriors, but they were definitely the stronger ones. Hopefully the turn order is beneficial.
Answering question in chat. Spill B. The class change, yes, you do need the tail to class change from Bahamut. The other thing that you need to get to Bahamut is actually the floater, so you do need the airship to get to Bahamut's island. So, in this particular flag set, there are other flag sets where, you know, the doctors are shuffled. So, that's a little bit different as well. But this is the vanilla flag set for that, so yes, the tail leads to your class change.
So Sho is only down to 2 light warriors, but they're definitely outgeared with ribbons and defensive items, taking much less damage from thunder than Solaris. Sho grabbing up the white shirt, definitely useful. And Sho is definitely going to be happy to see this room with the dragon armor right there. Just wanted to give a special shout out to our wonderful, new to the community, but definitely veteran in our hearts, Super Luigi, for tracking for us tonight. Much appreciated as always for giving your time to us. Hope you're enjoying this. Looks like Solaris is going to take the 2-party strat right into Volcano. This is actually going to be really exciting and potentially very EXP. The Cerberus are unrunnable, but doesn't look like they have much of anything, so that's nice to see that the 2 adventurers are completely able to take them down by... Sho almost to the Kraken fight. Solaris is going to check out the 4th floor armor. He finds a large... that was a sword, and then a silver bracelet. Nothing interesting on there. Agama's... I have about 400-ish HP, so they're semi... Oh, the sea trolls have thunder too! But there's the 3rd ribbon for Solaris, finding it at the 4th floor armory Volcano. This randomization is truly something.
Well, there's one of our loos confirmed at this point, was one of the ribbons. But, we still are on the hunt for that key item. And also, the lovely chime.
Sho pulling Kraken, definitely in a much better situation gear-wise than Solaris was. Should be a much easier. 4 hits, 413. Kraken strikes back, but only for about 50-something. And Viz 2's going off. Chooses to just swing for the fences by the looks of it. Nuke's coming off here. Ninja just doing white shirt duty. Nothing interesting except for evasion right there. Nuke goes off for 270. Down goes Kraken 1.
Question in chat. Edgeworth. Former champion Edgeworth. Yes, we have seen the infamous Sarda special, but from today is from the blacksmith.
What a way to end week 4 with cabin seed. Oh.
That's another big find for Solaris there. In the Agama chest, we find a katana.
Katana is definitely one of the top 5 endgame weapons, along with the Masamune, Excalibur, Vorpal. Sun Sword is definitely high up there in ranks, and so is the Defense Sword. A lot of good weaponry that we have seen some of.
Solaris taking pretty much every fight along the way, trying to get some extra EXP on his way through, and I like it. With that Excal wielding knight, and I believe that is a flame sword still on the red wizard. I'll probably move that ice sword down a little bit, but
Sho finally makes it out of Onrak, getting ready to head back to the airship, and we'll see where Sho. There's those frost wolves again. They have stun touches. But they microwave pretty easily, so no problem.
well, level 1 nuke does tend to work wonders, especially if you get 2 of them throwing out every turn, but we're going to see SolarysDrix making the first pull of the Merilith care.
Now, if you saw level 1 nuke, would you have rerolled for potentially some other caster outlet? I know Thief was forced, but Thief eventually does max it.
I think the main reason that you see a lot of people running the Black Mage is I wouldn't be as scared about nuke, I'd be scared about fast being Black Mage. Well, Black Wizard locked, but that's the main argument that I see is like, well, if Temper or Fast are blocked and I potentially won't find the Power Gauntlet, that is kind of like my main method on that one, where I see the argument to run a Black Wizard versus a...
Blink and you miss it. Carry 1 takes about 1,000 damage before going down, though. Goodness gracious, what a beast. This is interesting. Slayer is tempting us with an Earth Cave. We do have the rod, so this is definitely something worthy of potential. There's the other katana right there. She's
Smart move by SolarysDrix, burning off an encounter right there. Knows his encounter table, burns it off before going in for the long run. Brilliant move.
First Pro Cape, that's actually really valuable as well. With only 2 party members having a little bit of issues with rooms.
Equipable in the shield slot for your mages, it gives 8 absorb, it is fantastic find.
Slayer's gonna walk that one out, and I definitely admire. There's our daily dose of Cobras. Quick, someone call G.I. Joe. About 4k in gold. Overall, it's a pretty decent floor. Found the second katana, found a pro cape. Slayers is feeling pretty good, even though the katana wasn't picked up.
Well, it's not something I want to duke it out with. Those Cobras just don't provide that much EXP in my opinion.
Speaking of things you don't really want to take lightly, those peeds are definitely back for.
Oh, and the Gargoyles make another appearance again, and in the Earth Cave. They have Stinger followed by Crack. That is a worrying find.
Slayer's taking the right idea and bailing out of that. There's the loose chime. There we go. And also a gold bracelet in there.
Personally, for me, that would make me sink in my stomach. Because that opens up a lot more of the world at this point. Because that key can be anywhere at this point. That is not key locked.
2800. There's the ice armor. That's not a bad find either for potentially the
Question in chat, is that the first of the 3 loose we have found? No, that's actually the second, because one of the ribbons were shuffled into the loose pool, and we've already found all 3 ribbons.
Show gonna find out how valuable this armory actually is. Gonna pick up another.
And if I remember right, the ribbons were in... There was one in Volcano Armory proper, there was one in Cardia Grassy, and the last ribbon, if I remember right, was in C?
No, actually, it was the second Volcano Armory and the 4th floor Armory as well. But the Cardio
Volcano.
So Volcano is definitely loaded today, but there's those cracked gargoyles. Definitely better gear than we were earlier for Solaris. Takes the crack and just says no thanks to it and just goes right.
As Crabcase is noting in chat, you are correct. It's going to be a case of a loose herb in which you're going to have to turn in for the key. SolarysDrix finds the Sun Sword. Another great sword. One of the best swords for your red wizard.
Also, it's the really one of the huge strong weapons for pre-class promotion, as you mentioned.
32 base damage. It is it's a meaty swinger, and it's equipable by fighters. It's equipable by red mages, and it does a decent job of cleaning through that early game.
It also gives you a glass of orange drink because it's definitely sunny.
All right.
Show making the way down to the 4th floor armory. We're gonna see how much of this can do. Probably most of it, since we're still looking for. Just some money there for Solaris on Earth floor, so.
Show finding his 3rd loose ribbon, and gets it for his 3rd light warrior that decides to res up. He is running the black mage at this point up again.
Hey, Q. Did you see something right there? I didn't see.
I saw a sun sword. That's a cool find. I think we also found a pile of dust on the floor. Somebody really needs to clean up this floor 3.
Quick vacuum cleaner strats. Solaris actually skipped the guarded tile right there. Just one chest, but you never know.
That is an important thing to know. Because he did check Never Enjoyable chest, that northeast chest, but he did not check the trap tile chest, so that could be massive at this point.
2 more chests on the 4th floor there. The light axe. Something you would have rather have found earlier on than later, but I guess it's some sort of... You can throw it.
It's another caster item. Cast Harden 2 on use. It has 28 base damage. It's great for an early fighter weapon if you're looking for one, but finding it this late, not too... And the nuke trolls come out with a vengeance.
Down goes Solaris. Drops quite a bit of gear there from that earth check. See how much Solaris actually remembers in grabbing the rest.
So he's gonna check floor 2, the northern chest, because he needs to pick up his chime at this point. I don't know if he'll even get the sun sword for this redye.
It's not the worst thing you can find again, but it's not the best thing you want to find again, so... You're right, it's potentially debatable as to whether it's a good pickup. Definitely wants the gold bracelet again, though. Maybe not.
Crab cakes. There were nuke trolls, so they unleashed nuclear winter all over his party.
Yes, Los Chime was definitely a pickup right there on the second floor. Show pulls carry what? Nuke 154. We knew it had about 1,000 HP. There you go, 4 hits, 412. That's a huge chunk of damage from that weapon. Nuke goes off for 180, down goes Kira.
Now let's see, does Solaris check the trap tile chest on his way through? This is big at this point. We didn't see him check it the first time. We know there's still one loose item.
Skips it again. There's the cube from the Lefane party.
I don't know, I think I had a coffin fit there, because for a second there I thought I saw a vampire.
Must have been your imagination, I didn't see anything. Wizards has stun touch. That's pretty annoying.
Well, we did see that earlier. I don't know if Solaris saw it, but I'm pretty sure Sho did on his check of the Marsh cave, along with all the other nastiness that was.
Sho noping out of that second katana as well. No need since there's only one. Grabs it on a pro cape though. Solid strategy.
Last 4 chests of Earth, steps on that tile there, and gets his lovely fight.
Another pro raid. Now, Solaris taking the time to equip all of this stuff onto the Fallen Adventurers. I think we're probably going to see them come back up for the Topher run just to get some extra quick yak.
I definitely see that one coming. Again, Life 2, Red Mage Vulnerable, Slot 5. So, even if anything else, they do make handy meat shields for fights.
Speaking of meat shields, down goes the fighter to another nuke. Finally on the bottom of the Earth Cave.
I'm starting to question if Solaris actually picked up the Red Wizard's Life 2.
Here's hoping. Sho running into those crazy gargoyles. Definitely decently prepared for. Now we're going to see what the great purple punching bag is going to give us. The transfer goes off on mummies. We saw that earlier, but that's actually pretty scary.
They have stun touch.
Transfer destroyed the defense of that poor red mage. Oh no, the stun lock.
He's gonna wipe. Oh, what? What? He's on the orb step. Oh, man.
Sho pulls into the lead. What an adventure this is.
He was on top of the orb. He had that one step. All he had to do was hit A, and he would actually be able to fight the lid.
It's one of those moments where you want to just get your salty emotes out because that was something that was definitely.
White Mage Sea Salt. Pour them out anytime you get these kind of seeds.
So we're sitting at an hour and 33. After this race, we're going to get our reveal show. What would you like to see for yourself and other runners for the picks and bans for week 5?
Ban Fighter. We have not seen anybody break the fighter meta. I think we need to see more runners run into a situation where tough. You're going to have to pick. You want to go black belts? You want to try and game it with a red wizard? Do you want to try and game it with a ninja? What do you want to do with it? But Band Fighter is the only thing I've been asking this entire tournament at this point, and I really want to see it. I've been asking it since week.
I'd like to see Band Fighter for sure. Definitely agreeing with you there because our runners do need a little bit of spice of life in here. Forced, I would like to see either White Mage or potentially even Black Belt to make things a little bit more interesting for us as well.
And Falconic, you and your wizardry, I don't know how you convince people to run those unique party comps, but you mind games them into falling into a trap. That is the number one thing I'd be worry about if I was matched against you next week, is be wary of your mind game to try and mind game you into a weird party comp.
Shadowwalker pointing out Forced Black Belt may as well be Forced non-Black Belt is trash with this XP. Ouch. That poor Black Belt has feelings.
It's pretty tough. Without having progressive EXP, it's really tough because by the time that you really want to do your grind with the Black Belt, it's an early game. And with the incentive being the extra EXP and you have to have 12 of them, it is really rough trying to get through a seed quickly.
Sho gets Solaris got blown up.
Well, the trolls have been giving the nuclear option to Solaris, and it's just, not pleasant.
So as we're sitting 1 hour 36 in, we don't know what the wipe counter is officially for our runners at this point. If you want to catch the VOD of this on either YouTube or Speed Gaming on Twitch, please be sure to join our Discord and let us know how many it was, because this was definitely a seed where the dirt naps were definitely.
The thing is, Volcanic, Solaris actually has full cleared Earth at this point, so I agree with you. Just grab the chime, go to Sky. There are a lot of chests in there. You need to find one more unique item to get through this seed. It's going to be the herb leading to... I completely agree.
It's one of those strategies, beat your head against the wall until it opens up. Well, at least the wall opens up eventually, but that wall is definitely the nuke trolls at this point.
Yeah, those Nuku trolls are not holding back, and then we've also got the gargoyles with the crack potentially as well. If they get a good ambush and a good turn order, they could potentially crack down your party. Now, with the ribbons, these party members are now safe, but earlier on, they were a terror in my...
Could you imagine a formation with those transfer mummies and then the crack? Oh wow, that would be such a troll. Not as much as the nuke trolls, but it'd be just delicious.
Oh, it's the delicious combinations I always have to run through my head saying, oh god, oh god, oh god, please don't have this as well.
Is enemy formation shuffle a flag for our runners? Not in this tournament, but just overall there. Question to the chat there.
Sho did hit nuke trolls. He has actually wiped out of Earth at this point.
So yeah, if those flags are definitely a thing for the randomizer, great. If not, they need to be, because variety is the spice of life. The ogre pummel party going on. Question in the chat, did Czar roll this? You better believe.
You know what? I like Czar seeds. Why? Because they don't surprise me when they really just want to punch me in the kidneys. At least I'm going in there knowing that this could just be a potentially painful seed.
Probably one of the not super trolly seeds of this particular tournament, but this is definitely pretty far up there. There's the Nick trolls again.
Takes out the red wizard. No more life the rest of this run. Sho has to get through, and Nuku comes out again, but gets away.
31 HP on that fighter.
One light warrior at this point. You gotta get it through.
Now the thing for a show is, would you have used all of your heal 3 charges right there, or would you have just used heal potions right there? Because you never know what Lich is going to have, because we haven't seen.
I'll put it this way, you're going in assuming that Lich is gonna have something. I see an inherent logic flaw there. But it's mainly because at that point you just have to outdamage Lich. Even if you run into the trolls, you're gonna have to just run. You can't heal through the nukes. So I think it's going to be a case of blow them up before anybody blows you up.
With only one light warrior up, I can kind of see where you're going with that. As we get our first look at the purple punching bag, finally. 4 hits, 479, there you go.
Taking out the Excel and doing a little laundry, cleaning out that robe. Had a couple bones stuck on it or something like that.
The show has officially gotten out of Earthgate.
And with that, Sho is actually taken a slight lead.
Question in chat, do trolls have money on show?
I don't know, the trolls seem to be equally nuking opportunities. It just so happened that Sho's Light Warriors had a little bit more levels, specifically his Knight, and he kind of got through double nuke.
Equal opportunity Nuku. I like it. It's very, very inclusive and welcoming. Just like our community. Please feel free to join it whenever you'd like. The links will be in the chat.
Sho's gonna get some bad news right now. He forgot the key to the front door right now. And runs into the door, thud.
That is indeed a brick wall. Show's gonna have to head back to Earth Cave. Now, did Show not remember? Because we saw Show pick up the chime before.
But he wiped the trolls on that run and did not pick it up on his second time.
So that little lead that Show had is rapidly evaporating back into an even game here, as Solaris is definitely getting through Earth Cave pretty well.
Where was the chime? Question in chat, DD Gaming's. chime was in Earth 2 North. It was specifically in the middle chest of those 3 chests.
On the plus side, it wasn't all the way at the bottom, so that's better than...
I mean, he has exit, so this is going to be a pretty quick grab, but it is still time lost.
Every little bit that Solaris needed to get right back into the fight. Hey, look! So we actually saw level 7 on the ninja. Solaris actually has all 4 party members back up. There's our best friend the Nuku trolls, but down they go in one. Sho goes ahead and reestablishes the lead as we're finally going to get our Mirage check for the first.
Sho going with the full clear strategy. Your opinions on this one? Do you do full Mirage first, or do you go straight for Sky and just try and knock out the higher density up there and get the clear and then come back for Mirage?
The only thing I don't like about the Mirage play going first is that the greater than less than room is not easily accessible. If you find it here on the first floor, fantastic, forget the second floor, but if you don't, I would come back for it.
Yeah, I mean, that second floor, the less than greater than room, I mean, it is there, and that's why I was saying, I like to, especially with warp accessible, I like to go straight to that room if I'm going to check Mirage first.
There's the second pro kit for Sho right there on the first floor. Looks like Nub's out of it. Down goes the purple punching bag for Solaris. Solaris finally gets out of Earth. Heads straight back to Chronary to grab...
So for this seed, I don't know, I think at this point I'm not sure about the kill count between the bones and the nuking trolls, but they're getting pretty close.
There's those unrunnable Cerberus, but we didn't see anything on them earlier. They probably don't have anything now. And what they have is microwave gold.
Well, it looks like they've got less than 160 HP and a lot of EXP. Anytime I find that 4-pack of Cerberus, if they're, you know, pretty switchy, I like to take that by good EXP for the amount of health they're typically.
I mean, you do have to take it when it's unrunnable, but even if you don't, it's actually pretty good. There's the Vorpal for Sho in the greater than less than room. The game changer has been...
Well, they also found the Thor hammer, so I mean that's a good find too. But yep, finding your favorite sword, I know.
Whatever gave you that idea?
I don't know, every time I see, well, I think you just made my point for me in chat.
We're all having fun here. No matter what weapon you have in the end game, as long as you win the game, or at least finish it, that's all that.
I like the Vorpal too. I like it more when I got the bonk, and we have it in this case, and that is the one weakness I see with Vorpal, it's just its low base damage, but it is fantastic at killing bosses.
A little bit of difference here. It looks like Solaris is actually going to grab that second pro cape. There's an iron armor that looks ripe for the dropping. I like the Vorpal, I don't believe it from chat. Yeah, I like anything that wins the game, but as long as you have a preference.
Well, I like both having like an Axel and a Vorpal, or a Masamune and a Vorpal, because it gives you the option to make a play and make changes and kind of equip for trash, equip for bosses. It gives you more options on the field, lets you adjust to certain things that you see, so I like having options always.
Like some fights, like say for Chaos, equipping Massa to the fighter, and then if you have Saber or something on the ninja, you can have two things powering up at the same time, and that's actually a really strong strategy because you have something that will save you just in case one of them goes down to something.
Now, the only thing I don't think we saw is, since I don't think they checked 7 or 8, and I think we have fast in that slot, so neither of these runners actually have fast. But I agree with you. I am actually a huge fan of the Saber strat, especially if it's ninja learnable. I've even done it before on the Red Wizard, so...
And as I recall, actually Saber was level 1, so Ninja would definitely max it. But you can't rely on that since Ninja only gets up to 4 levels of spells.
Yeah, but at that point I'd probably invest more in the nukes.
Solarys grabbing the Game Changer Thor Hammer. It was a really good greater than last.
Dolphin making an interesting point though. The Bane Sword greater than all. I think a lot of people see that.
I think this tournament has definitely brought out the Bane Sword as a potential mascot for our community, and I'm pretty inclined to. Also, speaking of mascots for the tournament, definitely vote in the polls because there's something that's missing from this tournament, and I think the Bane Sword is the second thing that's actually missing from those polls, the first being the green. We'll get him in next time, everybody. And as I recall, the past has been mentioned, those polls will close around the end of week 5, so you have about 1 more week. Versus defending themselves against fire, that's pretty interesting as well, considering what they normally...
Well, considering they normally have a resistance to it already, it's really doubling down on that at that point.
Question in chat from Tristal, our tournament organizer. Yes, the Titan chests were checked, and not too much there. It was about 7k or...
And there it is. 4-2 Sky, right-hand side, at the 3 o'clock position on the clock. Herb. And Sho is booking it. So, you'll have very little time. If you want to see our robot overlord, the mighty War Mech, get your Bless RNGs, get your Mr. Destructoids, get your inputs for the robot overlord.
So, the Dragon Sword wasn't something that was actually found, so we're not going to find my particular version of the mech, but hopefully the regular version should. And the chat goes wild. There it is!
We have Crab Mech, everyone. Initiating, hugging, servos.
Friendship.exe activate. Fast goes off on the knight. White shirt goes off for the defense. Nuke comes out. A little bit fast on the input there, so hard to see. Sho not playing around with the input rate though. Those numbers are going right by. So is.
He's up to about 600 damage into War Mech at this point. Another nuke comes out, about 800 now. Another tempers, some more temper charges going on to that knight. Swinging with the ninja for 2 damage. Nuke comes out, another 190. 7 hits for 493. The War Mech is now a scrap mech.
That was about 1500 HP. War Mech was definitely beefy. So the sacrifice has definitely been offered up. Sho is actually going to pull Tiamat.
As again, we have fast at level 7. Limited charges, temper goes in. 4 hits, 232 damage before the fast comes in, so... But white shirt's coming out from our ninja. We are going to go in with another round of fighting, some nukes from all across the board for the rest of our light. Nuke for 184, nuke for 192, and another nuke for 194. Sleep goes through, just knocks the ninja unconscious. 8 hits for 319. And another swing, 8 hits for 407. The Mother of Dragons is dead.
I think somewhere some dwarf was randomly yelling hooray at this particular scene almost being over because these trolls have been pretty real this particular.
As Sho runs into some more steak, but decides to pass out on the all-you-can-eat steak and wings buffet.
Sho has all 4 orbs. We're going to be seeing probably a little bit of an item pickup here. Turns in. And there's the key. We're officially in go mode at 1 hour 53 minutes for Sho.
Well, I think
Solarys about to go ahead and pick up for the.
That was the key pickup we were looking for, so Sho immediately booking it straight to Temple of Fiend.
Here we go, 1 hour 53 minutes and about 45 seconds. Sho has officially entered the Temple of Fiends Revisited, and we have ourselves a race. Slayer's having to heal up a little bit there. Finds a tent. Nowhere to put it up in a dungeon. Some soft potions. Slayer's goes right back out of that area. Heads right back upstairs. Gas dragons have Stinger. That's the old Stinger splash, right?
Does that mean that gas dragons potentially also have crack at that point too? Nope, they got stone poison.
Hey, that's just as effective. There's our everyone's favorite tournament mascot, unofficially the Green Medusa, who just goes down because there's
Unrunnable Phantom today, though.
Danny Phantom not playing around tonight. 4 hits, 273, 3 hits, 7. 3 hits for 18. The soft swing actually drops it.
Well, Sho hit him in his human half, and there goes Danny Phantom.
Speaking of old-fashioned cartoons, Sho has officially gone down to the lower levels. Slayer's checking the great chest, potentially for possibly.
I mean, the good news at this point is we're not going to run into any more troll encounters, so there's the Nuku from our trap. And, you know, it's more of what else could we potentially run into. We do still have a red Sahags having thunder, but, you know, on that seashore floor, you're going to run into Wiz Sahags instead.
Definitely gonna be interesting. There's some more Green Medusas. 7 hits, 7 damage, nothing there. Oh. But we have another Bridge of Destiny here. Couple errors, nothing for Solarys. Green Naga, which is really gray in this dungeon.
You have SolarysDrix rapidly approaching that Bridge of Destiny. It's going toward Tinot, and no Wormek today.
We got the one. Chat should be appeased with that.
So we've got the first Refiend fight, Lich coming in, using some nukes, 151. As we have Solaris fighting Tiamat at this point. Another nuke comes in from Sho and cleans off the purple road.
About 600 points or so on the wonderful purple punching bag part 2, so pretty squishy. Didn't show off anything particularly dangerous.
Again, we know that Tiamat has around, I believe, what do we say, about 1500 health. Tiamat has hold. Another nuke comes in as Sho is fighting Carry 2.
down Tiamat 1 goes for Solaris. All that's left is the herb turn in. We'll be officially in go mode for Solaris as well.
Four hits for 294 at this point. Going with Bane Sword strats, ineffective. Thor Hammer, trying to chip in, 18 damage. Doesn't look like Carrie has been lifting because she didn't hit that ninja that hard. 3 hits for 285, so I've done about 500 damage at this point. Closer to 600. Fire 3 does more chip damage. Thor Hammer comes out again. Another 337. We're about 950 damage in. Another white shirt. More swings. More Thor Hammers. Not switching to the black shirt, continuing to use. Lightning 2 does some more chip damage. That's just going to cost him the pots. Another swing. 55 damage from the katana. 3 hits, 269 from the fighter. And down goes Carrie.
So Carrie too didn't have much on her. She was kind of annoyingly tanky and somewhat defensive, but wasn't necessarily scary. Chat being a little bit up in arms about not seeing multiple robot sightings. Sorry.
If we always saw a robot overlord, it wouldn't be as special with you guys in chat when we do.
Solaris getting ready to enter into Temple of Fiends Revisited after a short item shopping trip. At about, let's see, about 159.35 or so?
As ShoFukomachi is about to pull the Kraken. Will it be Octopolis now? What will we see? 2 invis charges coming out, and we're going with a potential temper play. He's going to stick to the tempers at this point. 65 damage. So this Kraken has some evasion at this point. With only the one swing connecting, we know Kraken has evasion. But he whacks the ninja. Ninja is dead. All the invis charges are going to be coming out of that red wizard now. He's going to be draining his resource. More power bonks. Another fast at this point. So he's getting fast up his night now. He's trying to get buffed up. He's trying to get in because he needs to start swinging very soon with this beefy Kraken with multiple hits, multiple arms, lots of death. 2 hits for 263 damage. Not much. Bane Sword, ineffective. More temper charges coming in. Trying to beef up this knight, trying to get him strong. This Excal needs to do some lifting. Another swing. 4 hits for 676. That should be good enough at this point. He needs to just finish him off with the damage that he stacked. Save up some of these resources for later. 2 hits for 318. Kraken still standing. Bane comes in, ineffective. Another nuke charge, potentially, from his Black Wizard? No, going with the Bane strats again. Heal 3, keeping his party topped off, making sure that they will not die, potentially. The Knight swings in. 3 hits, 358 damage. Kraken is now Takayaki.
So, a little update. SolarysDrix entered into Temple of Fiends Revisited about 7 minutes behind Sho, but as we've seen all tournament long from a lot of races, all it takes is one wipe, completely erases.
So we have the same strategy going through. He's going to use up one of his last 2 charges of Invis 2. Swings in. So Tiamat does not have the same amount of absorb, it looks like. Although I do believe there was at least 1 crit in that. Some more temper charges coming out. Some nukes. Full nuking in. Going to nuke the dragon, 131. Another nuke, 276. Fire 3 comes in. We've done about 600 damage to Tiamat. Another 200 into the pool. And 118. We're about 950-ish at this point. More white shirts coming in. Getting these evasions stacked up. Zap comes in. Zaps the ninja. Exile to the 4th dimension. Nuke comes in. 222. The second coming of the Mother of Dragons is down. ShoFukomachi just needs to make it to the floor. And he's on the final floor at this point. Life 2 brings right back up that ninja. Let's see what adjustments he potentially will make for this.
As Solaris is dealing with some frost dragons that are being a little bit of a pain, as they were earlier. Here we go. 202, 36 goes straight into the chaos fight. Power Bong, white shirt. Last cast of Invis 2. Fast strats going off. Chaos opens with nuclear, huge damage. Invis 2 goes off, gets the evasion up. White shirt goes off. We are at 2 stacks for the party. Total of 6 needed for cap. Power Bonk, fast goes up. Buff turns complete. Heal 3, nuke. Heal 3 again. Temper strats. Not much of an offensive turn, but we need to recover from that opening nuclear because it was really strong. 151 to the Black Wizard. Nuke goes off. 180. Fighter is turned to offense. Nuke goes off. 191. Temper goes off again. Chaos hits for 44. Nothing special there. 5 hits. 601. Temper goes off. Out of nuke charges. Swings for the ninja. 4 hits. 585. Still standing. Bane goes off. Misses everyone from Chaos. Swing for the fences. Go, go, go. See, nuke goes off. 288. That was a high roll on nuke. Second nuke goes off. 134. Swirl goes off. Drops the ninja to 3 HP. Those heal 3s definitely saved the bacon. 5 hits, 618. That's terminated. GG for show. An official SRL time of 2 hours, 4 minutes, 14 seconds. Congratulations.
Indeed, as we have SolarysDrix on the Lich fight. The X-Cal swings in and terminates the Lich at this point. 4 hits for 351 damage. So it looks like we are going to be joined in the booth very shortly by ShoFukomachi.
What an adventure this was. A winner is you indeed. But everybody that's joined in on this race in the chats and around the world, we're the real winners tonight. Thank you all so much for coming in. Much appreciated. Slayer's gonna do the fire pour now.
GG Show, our winner of the match night. As we have SolarysDrix pulling his carry to fight.
Thank you very much. Much appreciated. Whew! Oh my gosh. What was not unrunnable and what didn't have nuke?
As he's going for some evasion charges right off the bat. Is he going to use Thor Hammer? No. Decides to go for Bane strats against carry as well. Ineffective. White shirt comes in, using a power gauntlet on his knight, and he's going to try and get past this stop. Ineffective against all 3 of these ribbons. He's going to use some nukes at this point. And some fades. He's going to see if another Bane charge. Bane sword going in. Blaze from carry. Doesn't do much against these ribbons. The Bane is ineffective, and the fade comes through for about 246. He's going in for another Bane shot here. Ineffective. The Vorpal on the Red Wizard does 2 hits, 2 damage. 3 hits for 186 with the X-Cal. We are sitting at approximately 500 damage into this Tia fight. Oh, sorry, carry fight. Another 4 hits, and there she goes. With a fade and 3 hits from the X-Cal, carry goes down.
Plus Solaris progresses to the water floor. Hey, Show, how about that cat?
Oh my gosh. Phew-wee. Wow, that was something. Trolls with nuke and everything unrunnable. And man, who didn't have what?
I think the RNG table was ringing your bell tonight.
was pretty brutal. I had quite a few wipes.
The blessings of ZaRNG have certainly befallen both of you tonight, that's for sure.
Yeah, hashtag blame mono.
As we have SolarysDrix rapidly approaching the Kraken fight. Go ahead, Lyra. Take it away.
Alrighty. Looks like we have ourselves a defense turn. White shirt going off. Power gauntlets. Kraken 3 hits 282 on the Black Wizard. Down goes Vivi. 5 hits 470. Down goes the Red Wizard.
Oh no!
5 hits 271. Fighter's still standing. 258. 5 hits 271 in retaliation. Solaris down to 29 HP. Down goes Solaris.
Oh no. Ouch.
Definitely
Kraken-
admire the determination for Solaris going straight back in.
Kraken be backing.
It's definitely hitting hard. I'm glad I kept the ninja around to do white shirts with the Invis too, with the red mage. That definitely helped me survive some of those brutal fights.
Apparently that white shirt was definitely orange this seed because believe it or not, you definitely won it thanks to that ninja.
Yay, ninja!
Go ninja, go.
That's right. I mean, with Nuke being level 1, I mean, it was pretty... Eventually I was going to have to re-res the ninja just for extra Nuke charges, plus like a meat shield.
Definitely paid off in the end for you.
Yeah. Did Solaris pick up life 2?
I
Don't believe
question it.
so because the ninja wasn't revived after it went down on the...
Yeah, you might not know the spell permissions. You could have picked that up as a red mage. It was in slot 1 of level 5 if I remember right, so...
5 or 6, yeah. And life was level 3 and learnable in the 4th slot in the white mage, the red mage, so could have picked it up on possibly the knight or the red mage.
The old gassy dragons having the old Taco Bell.
Throwing out them stingers.
So moving on to week 5, is there anybody in the pool that you're in that you are interested in going up against or not going up against?
Well, if I can avoid like Crystal or One Fine Day or those top tier people, the Tyrannex, those guys, whew, would be nice.
Is there any particular class you want to see as the captain and any particular class you want to see banned?
Well, I of course love the black belt, so I would love to see the black belt as a captain and the fighter band. The fighter walk the plank.
Pretty much the entire of us are all in agreement then. We definitely want to see some variety in the spice of life.
Yeah, because everyone should be able at this point to do fighter strats. Not a whole lot of people do black belt strats just because it takes longer to get them to a high enough level to be effective. For me, at least 32, 21 would probably be the minimum. I mean, depending on the enemy percentage and boss percentage, but 200%, you're probably going to want to at least go to 32, if not 42. We've seen some pretty brutal, Topher fights where a 42 black belt would have really been nice.
Well, you know me, I love my Fist of the Heavens black belt, but I want to see a band fighter because at that point, then that opens up the pool. Do you see ninja strats? Do you see red wizard strats? Do you see a black belt? I think all of them are viable plays.
Punching Bag 2, here we go. Quad X from Punching Bag 2. This is the fighter, down goes Punching. So how was that Marsh cave for you? It was definitely something special to see something that vicious.
Oh man, that was so so rough. God, what was it? Bones had like frost or something, just enough to take out my party. It was just so annoying. And then only having one charge of warp you know, I tried to at least walk out of one floor and then warp out of the other one, but eventually I got out. But yeah, I definitely had a number of wipes in there. And after I checked the chest, I was like, I'm gonna go for this one, and then run out as fast as I can.
Your opponent and Solaris definitely had the same amount of trouble, if not a little bit more, this seed. Something you had that Solaris didn't have going into, say, Onrak was definitely the levels, and that made that particular dungeon quite a lot easier. And you also went Mermaids first, but you found X-Cow and then other stuff up there too, so... Overall, made the plays that kept you safe, kept you particularly in strength when it came to saving time, and here we are.
Yeah, and although forgetting to get the chime again after I wiped from those nukes in Earth Cave, that was a time. It cost me some time there.
As we are checking back in with SolarysDrix, he's made it through and he's on carry. He's already swung in for about 400 damage at this point. Fade comes in for 186, Inferno from carry at this point. Again, more chip damage against these ribbons. Another nuke comes out, 386. Carry's got to be on one arm at this point, and chops that last arm off. Carry is down.
Almost a max roll nuke. That was fantastic and very, very...
Also, killing the war mech. Those
That
extra levels
certainly
were,
helped out too.
yeah, definitely was nice.
Was that something you were hoping for on the Bridge of Destiny, seeing a war mech and grabbing some extra XP for...
Not really, but you know, I'm glad that it was he was low enough in strength that I was able to kill him, and he didn't hit super hard.
Runs from Thunder Sea Trolls. Runs to him again. Does not lose one of his light warriors to Thunder Sea Trolls. Not healing up his party right now. That could bite him.
Tier 3 going off on Sneeze Snacks again. There's the Thunder. Ooh, survives it though.
I disagree with that play. You have a ton of healing potions. Use the healing potion. We know that Chaos has nuclear and it's his opener. You're gonna want every last scrap. I know Solaris doesn't know this, but that cost him all of his in-game healing. He's gonna use some white shirts. He's gonna temper up. No, he's going for nuke. He's going straight in for offense against this Chaos. Parabonk, white shirt, nuke. 185. We have another Parabonk, another white shirt, and another Nuku. Kraken whacks the Knight for about 150 damage. Nuke comes in, 154. So Kraken has taken, I believe, around 350 damage. Nuke comes in from the Red Wizard, 157. About 500 damage. Swing, and about another 200. Another nuke for 100. 122. A swing miss. Again, Kraken has high evasion. Nuke for 276. Kraken is around, I believe, 1,000 hit points in at this point. Nuke for 144. The Knight goes down.
Oh.
Nuke for 107. He's down to his 2 light warriors at this point. Another miss. 2 swings, 2 misses. Does he have any fade charges left? He does, but he also has nukes. He's going for a quad X. Erased! Terminated! Now the question is, does he have that life too?
Moves on the air floor.
SolarysDrix is not going to res. So he does not have life 2, I'm assuming, at this point.
Didn't look like it. So we're gonna see an interesting Tiamat 2 fight, that's for sure.
Oh, no nukes.
Or a white white shirts coming out, trying to get as buffed as possible. Zap, in a...
Solaris definitely needs both of these to stay up.
I think you need to get that, Yep, he's gonna switch to chip damage. He decides that's enough tempering. Goes in, 2 hits for 190. That is some evasion that he's ran into at this point, with a lot of misses. As he loses the Black Wizard at this point. 2 hits for 130.
Ooh.
2 hits for 178. It's A and Prey at this point, going in full bore with his Red Wizard. 3 hits for 167. Again, he's about at around 600 HP done to this Tiamat fight. Tiamat did roll some decent HP, but 3 hits, and there's some crits in there. For 376, he gets through it.
Corp coming in clutch for Solaris there.
One last fight. SolarysDrix needs to get to this final floor at this point. He has 4 nuclears, 4 fades for spell charges. He has the white shirt. He has the power bonk. What is he going to do? How is he going to play this through? We know nuclear comes out early and hits potentially very hard against this party. Lower levels, lower HP pools. This is something to be watching.
Oh man.
And he has no more. No more at this point.
Opens up with Bane instead.
White shirt. White shirt.
2 of the 6.
Nuku from Chaos. Nuku is in the pool for Chaos. Also has nuclear.
Oh man.
Temper charges. Lightning 3 comes in 41 damage. He's gonna keep trying to temper up, trying to get his Vorpal Sword ready to go. Swings in from Chaos. Chaos wipes out SolarysDrix. And SolarysDrix has forfeited from the...
Gave it one heck of an attempt. GG's to Solaris for just trying to stick through that as best.
That is rough. The costing of the Life 2 at level 5. Life 2 at level 5, Red Mage learnable, was one of the main differences there.
Solaris, GG, congrats on almost finishing that. One question.
Yeah.
That comment. How were those neutrals?
Oh, I hated them.
Oh god. Yes, the new trolls. Ah.
I think I wiped 6 or 7 times in Earth going through it.
Oh gosh, yeah, they were brutal. And then like Frost Bones or something.
Yep.
Marsh Cave was rough.
It also had cracked gargoyles as well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't think I saw cracked gargoyles. I got lucky with that.
You also had Thunder Redsa Hags, Thunder Sea Troll.
Yeah,
it was horrible.
Yeah, once the unrunnable formation, I was like, oh man, here it comes, the thunders.
Yep.
Oh man. Ugh.
So, do you guys like Zar's?
It
Doesn't he roll the most interesting seeds?
It is.
Interesting,
RNG is RNG is real. It is very real.
So, anything else you'd like to say about those, that seed other than, ow, wipes, frost, nuke, no.
In this tournament, I have yet to have a seed that I have finished in under 2 hours. It's all been over 2 hours at this point.
Oh.
I've got to be honest though, tonight's seed was interesting. The Adamant made this seed so interesting for the two of you guys. How does it feel to be one of the... I think this was the first Stardust Special that I've actually seen so far in the tournament.
With 3 loose, yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, Herb. I mean,
Like with the last treasure chest you check.
Yeah, I mean, I full cleared everything else, at that point, and then once I found the herb, I was like, that's it, I'm going.
I did exactly the same thing.
So yeah, I didn't even check the 3rd floor sky. I was like, nope, just going done. I mean, at that point, I had everything anyways.
Yeah.
At least that I wanted. So, man, did I wipe anywhere else? I wiped. Where did I level? I just kind of leveled throughout. I didn't have any particular. I didn't grind anywhere. So, but
Well,
killing.
I had to try to do the 2-man strat for a little while because the fighter could not stay up.
Yeah. This was pretty. There were times where I 3-man. I left the. After I got the class changes when I revived the thief so he could get levels and get the nuke charges and stuff. But yeah, I didn't grind anywhere. But I did get a Warmac kill.
No, I never did. I was hoping.
He was pretty weak, thankfully. After everything else, the nuke trolls and
So, Solaris, how was that Marsh cave for?
Marsh Cave wasn't too bad. I just kept running into those bones. That was the only one I was really worried about.
You feel so alone, always running into them bones.
Yeah.
No bones about it. Now, is there anybody that you want to see coming up for your particular pool that you wouldn't like to or not like to see for your match?
No, I'm good for any comers.
Love the confidence.
I personally think this was a fairly linear sea for the most part. I mean, outside of like the early play, you could have gotten Earth early, but I liked both of your guys' plays. You went in for chest at sea, you cleared out sea, you cleared out Volcano, and then you went to Earth and found the chime, and then you're like, oh great, here we go.
yeah. Of course, having to go back for the chime after I wiped to those nuke trolls was that cost a little bit of time.
Yeah. Then one of my runs, I forgot to go get it, and I had to come all the way back to get it.
Oh. Phew. This was a C for sure.
As we get ready to move on to our wonderful pairing show for week 5, any final thoughts for our runners?
No
Thank you.
more nuke trolls.
Yeah, no more nuke trolls. No more nuke. Please, no more nuke anything.
Yeah.
But thank you to Speed Gaming for hosting this match, and of course Lyra and Kitsuki, I can say it, I promise, for doing the commentary and boost tracking. Super Luigi 52. Yeah. But yeah, looking forward to the rest of the tournament. GG Solaris.
Yeah, GG to you. Good luck next round.
Thank you. Yeah, that was a rough one for sure.
Oh, that was.
So what do you think, Q? What a week 4.
You know what? They're okay with the nuke trolls. I'm okay with the nuke trolls actually, because they show up in smaller packs. You know, anytime that I see something super scary or something that shows up in a big pack with potentially 9 of them, like Nuke Badman or Green Medusas or stuff like that, that's the things that always give me worry. But I think nuke trolls was the definition of the seed, along with the Frostbones. I give a big shout out to the entire Speed Gaming family of networks. I know that they're going to be doing an ALTTPR Overworld Glitches on Speed Gaming Prime. I believe there's a Zelda 1 Randomizer weekly race going on Speed number 5 currently. And I know that Tristal MTG is going to be having the week 5 reveal on his own personal channel. For those of you who love Final Fantasy 1 Randomizer action, that's where I'd be going. But I gotta give a shout out to, well, you, my co-commentator in the booth, the person of the other classification of the sword, and Super Luigi for doing the tracking tonight. So I was expecting a little bit more spiciness with the whole Excal and Vorpal debate, but it went still, so I'm happy about that.
Also, a special thanks to our wonderful restreamer, which was Mr. Broadstone tonight, to our tracker, Super Luigi. Super got into the community. Much appreciated for all your time that you spent with us. And as Q said, if you feel like joining us for the week 5 reveal, it's going to be over on Tristal MTG. The link will be in the chat for you already. It's been an honor and a pleasure with you as always, my wonderful speed gaming community. For Kyo Kitsuki, Super Luigi, for Final Fantasy Randomizer, I am the White Witch Lyra, and I wish you all a most beautiful of evenings. Have a great one.